with all the pressure facing Kaylin DeBoer, would he leave for another job?
You are Locked On Bama, your daily podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back into Locked On Bama, AHSA Radio Network's Luke Robinson. That's me. Alabama internet legend Jimmy Stein. That's him. We want to thank you for helping making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. That's what Locked On Bama is a part of, the #1 sports podcast network. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel, by the way. So, Jimmy, it's almost let me start off with this. The pressure DeBoer is under now, having lost that Oklahoma game, to win these last two games is immense. And now the Auburn game has been announced. The Iron Bowl is going to be a 6:30 game. That place is going to be on fire because it is their Super Bowl. There's no doubt about it. That is the one thing. DJ Durkin's going to want it badly. The players are going to want it badly. The fans definitely want it badly. They had won one in 5 years. And given the way Alabama lost against Oklahoma, I think they probably feel like, hey, I mean, Oklahoma's had an advantage on special teams. We probably had an advantage on special teams. Oklahoma, when's the last time we returned a kick of any sort for a touchdown? I mean, Auburn at least has done that once this year. It may have been back in the first game against Baylor.
I saw Forrest Gump do it, but that had to have been in the 60s.
Had to have been. Mm-hmm. That movie was like, when was that movie out?
The movie was out I remember this. The movie was out in 1994, but I think the Forrest Gump sequence happened in the 60s.
So, okay. You know, he's going to be under a lot of pressure to win that game. So, the question becomes, and this has sort of been a hot topic on some message boards, does Kaylin DeBoer to Penn State have some legs? James Franklin off the board now. Not that he was going back to Penn State, but some dominoes are beginning to fall. James Franklin to Virginia Tech today. Lane Kiffin apparently is looking around everywhere. And I no longer believe Lane Kiffin stays at Ole Miss. I'll say that much. I just don't believe it. I think he ends up somewhere else. Now, would Kaylin DeBoer, I mean, you want to talk about a move that would make Dennis Franchioni's move look like child's play, if you ask me.
It would be a bigger deal, I think, in this age for DeBoer to move to Penn State than it was for Fran to move to A&M, because, of course, when Fran moved to A&M, Alabama was burdened with NCAA sanctions. DeBoer is simply burdened with following Saban, which is something that he knew on the front end going in. I think Fran was a little shocked at the severity of NCAA sanctions and may have felt a little misled, or it sort of hit him, when he was here about how rough that would be. But I don't think Kaylin DeBoer is going anywhere. I really don't. I would bet money that he's not. I mean, I would be ready to bet wager that who's going to be Alabama's football coach in 2026. I would wager that it's Kaylin DeBoer. He has everything he needs here to be successful, and Alabama pays him a lot of money. By the way, Kalen, if he was leaving because the pressure at Alabama is too great, he might be surprised to see what the pressure's like in Happy Valley, where they just fired a guy for failing to beat top 5 teams. I mean, that's why he's fired, because he didn't have enough top 5 wins. That sounds like a pressure-filled job to me.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think he's going anywhere. But I also think, not playing devil's advocate, just logically, it's 2025. It's a new landscape. I don't dismiss anything. And for those, I saw somebody on a message board one time say, no one would leave Alabama for another job. We've seen it happen. It's already different Alabama, different time. And I'm not saying what happened this time, but it has happened. Bill Curry left. He didn't get fired. He left. Franchioni didn't get fired. He left because Alabama's not for everyone.
Ray Perkins left.
Perkins left. It was for the NFL.
It was for the NFL, but at the time, Tampa Bay was about as low on the totem pole as you could be. They were as close to a college program as any NFL team was. So what I'm saying is that was the equivalent of leaving for a college job in a way. So yeah, it's definitely happened before. And
so I'll pick my words carefully, and this is my words, and I know it'll be misconstrued because that it's also a 2025 thing, but there's an above zero chance There's an above zero chance that it happens, but I'm not betting on it happen. I don't think it will.
And see, people are going to think we may be clickbaiting because I haven't made the thumbnail for this yet, but I will, and it'll be something about DeBoer to PSU, and somebody will go, "That's just clickbait." I don't think it is just clickbait. At the same time, I don't think it's very likely at all. This to me is, there's a chance. I'm here in Baltimore, and when I walk out of my hotel room, that I sprain my ankle. I mean,
yeah, there's a chance.
Above zero be a chance that something else worse happens.
there's an above zero chance of that happening. Correct, and that's
there is. But is it likely? No, it's not likely.
Yeah,
but I mean, it could happen. Let me tell you this, Jimmy. If I sprain my ankle leaving this hotel room, I'm calling you immediately. I'm not even skipping the doctor.
Might as well help Kalen and family pack. No. I agree that it's enough of a thing where, I mean, they talk about it on the Penn State boards. I don't know how many of y'all have read the Penn State boards about this, but they don't talk about it in the sense of like, hey, I'm hearing this crazy rumor. They talk about it like, yeah, we've been in talks with this for a while. I mean, and I'm just saying it's easy to read that stuff and like, gosh, there might be. And, and Ole Miss fans initially were a little dismissive about Lane Kiffin in Florida and Lane Kiffin LSU, because the Ole Miss fans are like, why would you leave here? We're giving you anything you want. Why would you leave? And it's 2025. Josh Pate, now I listen to Josh all the time. Shout out to Josh. Josh promised 30 days ago, this is going to be the craziest coaching carousel of all time. And he has extensive contacts in multiple places. And I knew that didn't just mean James Franklin. I mean, the craziness was coming. So that's why I don't rule out anything, but we're asked as quote experts, what's going to happen? Is DeBoer going to Penn State? My answer is no. No, he's not. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's going to be at Alabama in 2026, win or lose against Auburn, make the playoff or not, because the fans are, if you lose to Auburn, the fans are going to fire him. And by that, I just mean when you go to the message boards, when you go to social media, it will be a foregone conclusion that he should be fired. That's what's going to happen if Alabama lost to Auburn. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Alabama's going to win, and I don't think any of that's going to happen. But no, I don't think I think Kaylin DeBoer will be Alabama's head football coach in 2026. He's got a contract that pays him a lot of money to do exactly that.
Well, that's the rub. I think if he beats Auburn, though, he's going to win a lot of people over.
Yes.
And so that's why this game even has more pressure. I mean, than you can possibly imagine.
Single biggest Alabama regular season game. I have to go back and try to recall one any bigger.
I've seen some opening spreads. Well, I've seen some opening spreads out anywhere from 5.5 to 7 in favor of Alabama. That doesn't inspire a ton of confidence in me because I think in terms of a roster, this team is more than 7 points better than Auburn, especially when you consider, Auburn has announced that they're going to sit Ashton Daniels for their Mercer game, and because they don't want to lose a red shirt, which I only get.
Craziest thing you've ever seen.
Well, I only get it if Ashton Daniels is transferring, because unless they think Deuce Knight is transferring.
I get what they're doing here. What Auburn, the message that I'm getting from Auburn doing what they're doing is, we want Ashton Daniels to be our quarterback in 2026. We want Ashton Daniels to be the quarterback in 2026. Therefore, we're not playing him this week. I kind of get it, but at the same time, boy, is that not taking Mercer serious. Because what you're saying is, we're only playing Mercer. We're not going to play our best player. Can you imagine Nick Saban doing that?
Oh, God.
Now, I'm not saying everyone should do what Nick does all the time, but
you're right.
I'm Mercer. Not that you need to be fired up to play Auburn. They're going to be fired up to play Auburn because it's a dream come true for most of those kids to play in an SEC stadium like that. But boy, if you're Mercer and you're Mercer's coach, that's the first thing I'm telling them. How disrespectful is that? Look what they're disrespecting you when they're admitting that our best quarterback, we're not playing him. We're going to play the backup quarterbacks because we don't take this game seriously. We are going to play him against Alabama because we'd like to win that game. Or how about this? Play Ashton Daniels against Mercer, then don't play him against Alabama. But, I mean, they're not going to do that, obviously. This isn't a bizarre – I can't remember a situation like this.
It's bizarre. But this is what is – if I only think this happens if Ashton Daniels is transferring, because unless you think Deuce Knight is transferring, that's the only. And I think this may be more an Ashton Daniels decision than it is an Auburn decision. Ashton Daniels may have said, "I'm not playing against Mercer. I'll play against Bama, but I'm not playing against Mercer." I mean, I can see that happening much more than I can any Auburn coach or fan or player believing, you know what, next year we're going to get to keep Ashton Daniels, Jackson Arnold, and Deuce Knight. My guess is 2 of those 3 are probably gone.
I think at least one of the 3 is gone. And these I don't know if DJ Durkin's planning on being the head coach. Again, my take, I'm not Zach Blackerby. I'm not locked on Auburn. My take is what DJ Durkin and Auburn wants is Ashton Daniels to be the starting quarterback in 2026 and Deuce Knight to be number 2. And they don't care where Jackson Arnold ends up. He'll be on college number 3 in 3 years.
That is so true. I mean, because they did say we're going to play Deuce Knight and Jackson Arnold in this game. Like
they did. That to me is like, well, they're not.
Also
Jackson Arnold is gone. Now I don't know if they'll start Jackson Arnold or not. Maybe they'll start Deuce Knight to try to, like you said, keep him happy about sticking around. But no, I don't think Deuce Knight is automatically leaving if he's not the starter next year. That would be like saying, well, why isn't Keelan Russell leaving if he's not the starter next year? And I personally think if Ty Simpson returns, I don't expect Keelan Russell to transfer. Austin Mack might, but I don't think Keelan. I think Keelan's very young. He saw the value in Ty waiting his turn. I don't think Keelan would go anywhere myself, but I'm an optimistic sort, and sometimes I'm not. Hey, just like I talk all the time about, does everyone realize it's 2025 and everything's changed? That's hard for me to grasp sometimes too. Sometimes I'm talking to myself. It's a new world out there. It's a new landscape. And these massive changes, we have to change the way we think all the time about what players are going to do. But my guess is Keelan Russell and Deuce Knight are going nowhere, and they'll be number 2 quarterbacks on their teams next fall.
And it'll be the Kaylin DeBoer against Eli Drinkwitz game in the Iron Bowl.
I'm hearing
that was sort of
Summerall to Auburn, but I'm hearing Summerall to Ole Miss now. I don't know.
And there's also a lot of drink to Auburn talk. I mean, it is bizarre. It's crazy out there. I just don't want to be in it. But I'll tell you something you do want to be in, and that's FanDuel, because the NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of your game or you want to ride that hot hand, God, I should not have done that. I regret that little hand movement I just did. It was supposed to mimic like shooting a basketball. It did not look like that at all. Okay. FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into same game parlays for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting. And that's all you want. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of Jimmy.
Mark Sears, NBA.
Kind of ready for it to be Brandon Miller's NBA again, if he'll ever play again.
We never talk about this. As much as we should talk about Chris Youngblood making the Thunder roster. Yeah. I mean, I told a buddy of that who was shocked that he learned that. He didn't know because he didn't keep up with the NBA, keeps up with Alabama basketball. But that's incredible that Chris Youngblood made the Oklahoma City Thunder roster. He ain't on the G League team. He's on the big league club, just like Mark plays with the Bucks.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I wonder what Mark Sears calls Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak. I wonder what he calls him. Like when you've been friends with him for just a few months.
Yeah.
Do you call him the Greek freak? Do you call him Mr. Freak? Mr. Greek? Giannis?
He might make you call him that.
Yeah. Maybe that's part of rookie hazing. Mr. Freak to you.
So Mr. Freak. That sounds like a Rick James song if there ever was one. Okay, so the new Rivals 300 has dropped. And some of their rankings are just puzzling to me. I mean, they really are. And I'll go through a few of them here. EJ Crowell moves up to number 19 in the country, and he's a 5-star. Okay. And that's legit. He's the only 5-star for Bama. That is screwy to me.
Gyra Edwards is a 5-star safety if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. Gyra Edwards, and I think he would certainly have a shot at it. And Griffin, I think, could certainly have an argument. Now, here's somebody that moved.
CD Morgan. CD Morgan.
Well, I'm going to get to him in a minute because that's
cool.
the one.
I'm just saying, I'm cool with him being a 5-star. If he's not, if he's a high 4, that's fine. But if CD Morgan was a 5-star, I believe it.
Well, I'm telling you right now, he is a 5-star in Luke's rankings because I have seen him play a good bit now. Dude is a baller. You're going to love him next year. And I hope that, he plays for Lane Kiffin's Alabama Crimson Tide next year. But Jared Doughty, he moved up to number 64 in the country. He was unranked. He was a 3-star unranked, and now he's number 64. He's one of the recent commits. Yeah, he's a dude who had offers from everybody. And Jet Tamala has moved all the way up to number 90. That's good for him. And then Chris Booker, another he was one of the first commits in this class out of Atlanta. He's at number 103, and Kamarian Johnson has moved to number 160. Now, there's some that felt, it should be noted that Samson Gash didn't have a change in his ranking. We expect him to flip to Alabama soon, and he's number 286. So some other guys that either moved one way or the other. Jamarian Matthews moved down 13 spots. I find that odd because I feel like he's had a good senior campaign.
13's not much though.
It's not. It's not when you're talking about this many players. Again, and somebody must have moved up, and just like Doty did. So Xavier Griffin, still number 52. I think that is criminally low, but okay. They have Gyra Edwards at number 84. Okay, and I mean, dude, come on now.
No, he's great. He's great. This is what I think of him, and I'll be talking about all spring when he gets here. I fully anticipate him making a run at seeing time with the ones. Now, if Hubbard and Sabb both come back, well, Gyra Edwards clearly isn't starting. But I'm just saying he's going to make a run at the ones. That's how good I feel about that guy.
Then here, Nolan Wilson, he stays at number 71, essentially no change. Cederian Morgan, BRH's own Cederian Morgan from right there in lovely Alexander City, Alabama, the gateway to Lake Martin. He drops 17 spots to the number 11 wide receiver. And I'm just going to tell you something, Jimmy. I'm just going to tell, I mean that with all sincerity.
What number is he at?
He's number 80. Number 11 receiver. There ain't 10 wide receivers in this country better than him in the high school level. There just ain't. I don't care.
I don't know.
Here they are.
I admit that I can't recall, or I'm not sure I've watched all 10. I have a hard time believing it. I'll tell you that. I do think there's a legit question about how fast he is, but he's so big and strong. He doesn't have to run a 4.3 or 4.40 to be great at his size. I think he runs better than adequately for his size, and he should be higher than that.
You're not going to catch him. I mean, and I think that's what's important. Is he J-Mo? No. J-Mo is ridiculously and superhuman. Is he Waddle? Nope. Is he even Judy in terms of speed? Nope. He is fast enough, and he's much bigger and stronger than everybody I just mentioned. And again, the guys that do the play-by-play in color for the BRHS Wildcats, Brett and Randy, are good friends of mine, great people, and they're both huge Auburn fans. And I'll tell you right now, I bet you if I had them right in front of us, as much as it would pain them to say it, they'd say, yeah, he's a 5-star. He's a dude. We have been calling him for a while. They called Malcolm Simmons a lot. And they thought he was a little underranked when, he came out as he was a low 4-star, I think, mid 4-star. He probably should have been a high 4-star.
He probably was underranked.
Yeah, because Malcolm Simmons is pretty good. But I think Cedarian's better than him. I mean, again, this to me, it's a ranking like this that I'm like, guys, come on. Now, I mean, are y'all just putting him there because y'all feel like if we put him too high, it's too good for Alabama? Or are you putting him so low because you legitimately believe there are 10 receivers better than him? There's no chance.
I wonder if someone out there in rankings world, I think it's possible. Someone looks at him and says, this is a tight end.
They can. He's not.
I don't think he is either. I'm just wondering if that's a thing here affecting the rankings. All it knows to me is He's 6'4", 220 as a prospect. So was Julio. Exact thing. Julio also listed as a prospect, 6'4", 220. The numbers they put up in high school are really similar in terms of the production. To me, this kid, you can compare him to Julio with a straight face. I'm not saying he's Julio. That's why I threw in that straight face thing. I don't think it's crazy to suggest that he's comparable to Julio.
He's Julio-esque.
He's Julio-ish. And if you're Julio-ish, you're not number 80. I can buy that you're number 40. I can buy maybe that you're number 50 because you're just about 15, 18 spots out of a 5-star at number 50. The number 50 player is 18 spots out of being a 5-star. So
and we're picking nits.
Okay, but 80.
We're picking nits to a degree. Like you said, you dropped 17 spots, and in you're ranking 300 guys out of probably 50,000 players or whatever it is. Yeah. So it's you're picking nits when you look at it mathematically like that. However, my question would be, all right, forget the fact you think he's the number 11 receiver, which is asinine. What you're kind of saying too is that if you want to use the argument that some people played a lot better and worked their way ahead of him, for instance, Jared Doty, I hope I'm saying that right. Maybe offensive lineman, and maybe they're more valuable than wide receivers. Okay, fine. But you're going to have 17 other guys who also did like that. Or you're saying we've looked at his senior film and we've been unimpressed to a degree.
Right.
And I'm telling you right now, if you look at this kid's highlights, you're going to be more impressed. I'm shocked he didn't move up.
Yeah, I'm with you. And one more point I want to make about the math that you just sort of brought up. I don't think everyone realizes how good you have to be a top 300, to be in the Rivals top 300. Think about this. There's roughly 65 Power 4 football teams. Let's say those 65 Power 4 football teams all sign 20 players on average. And it's actually more. I would bet the average is more. But let's say they only sign 20. 65 times 20 is 1,300. So 1,300 guys nationally sign with Power 5, not FBS, Power 5 schools, 1,300. To be in the top 300, what's that? You're saying you're better than 80% of the guys that sign with Power 5 schools. That's why being in the top 300 is a big deal. I know we all want to say, no, you got to be a 5-star. You got to be in the top 32. You got to be a 4-star. You got to be in the top 250 to 275. That's the top 80% and top 20% of all Power 5 signees. Yeah, you're a heck of a football player if you're in that Rivals 300 and a 5-star or a 4-star.
I want to thank you, everydayers, for joining us every day. You guys are the absolute best. Got some exciting news coming up that we're going to fill you in later. So the Locked On site-wide thing, we'll tell you about it later. Jimmy and I are excited about it. A couple other tidbits. Jimmy, we talk about topics, and I always just, for those who don't know, I send Jimmy a text, say topics, and he sends me back like 4 words. And, well, in this case, it was more than that. He said Jamarian Latham. So what's the news on Jamarian Latham?
Well, Charlie Potter asked about it today. I could tell I watched the press conference, and Charlie Potter specifically asked about it. Jamarian Latham is weirdly not included at the senior day, Saturday senior day, 27 seniors. It's an old football team, 17, 18 scholarship guys, another 9 or 10 walk-ons. Jamarian Latham's not among them. So the speculation is, or not just speculation, there's word inside the program that Jamarian in Alabama to some extent is going to seek a 7th year of eligibility. Now, does that mean it's automatically granted? No. There's NCAA hoops to jump through. Not a guy that I would project, even if he comes back 100%, to be a starter. But I can tell you this is as simple as I can make it for everybody out there. It's like, oh, I'd rather play Quay Russo. I'd rather play Yonsei Pierre. I get that. The coaches get that too. But if the coaches want him on this team, so do I. Sure. He obviously brings a value because you don't have to take him back. By the way, Alabama doesn't have to take a 7th-year guy back. They don't even have to take a 3rd-year guy back, frankly. But they dang sure don't have to take a 7th-year guy back. They would have to almost fight to get him back because you have to jump through all these eligibility hoops. If they want him back that bad, then I'm 100% for it. They're the ones on the practice field every day. I do think situationally he's an interesting player against the run at that edge spot. So anyway, it's just interesting not to see Jamarian Latham, who did participate in senior day activities last year, not this year, but seeking to come back in 2026.
Yeah, I'm with you. That I would love to have him back too, because I think that the experience is undeniable. And certainly incalculable in what it can do to help the team. And when you talk about it, yes, if the coaches want to fight for it. The other thing, I think it's an easier fight than it used to be. It used to be you're fighting Mike Tyson. Now you're fighting Glass Joe, because all you have to do is say, hey, I'm going to sue you if you don't give me this extra year of eligibility.
The NCAA does seem to cave on these things quickly, particularly when it comes to health and the fact that these guys can earn a living. You're kind of denying them the opportunity to earn a real income.
Exactly.
And he did have significant, unusual injuries and an unusual career. He was around during COVID. Frankly, that might be legally all you have to say is, well, I was around during COVID. Like, no, you're welcome.
He was COVID adjacent.
Yeah, exactly. How about this? He would be a player on Alabama's team if he comes back in 2026. He would be a player on Alabama's team with an Alabama national championship ring.
That is crazy. I wish that he would drive to the NCAA to put in his petition, and Diego Pavia is in the passenger seat, and the NCAA, like, looking through the blinds, are like, "Oh my God,
they're bad."
All right. So, what should Alabama work on during Eastern Illinois week? We've already determined Eastern Illinois is pretty terrible. Again, no offense to the Eastern Illinois sidewinders or scorpions or whatever I'm not going to even look up what they are. I'm not going to look it up.
I know what they are, but it's more fun to hear you make it up.
I'm going to do a different one every time.
No, I think that's more fun, and we can come up with some good ones. How about this? The Jackhammers.
Is that what they are?
No.
Oh, that'd be good.
I just thought it was a good, cool name.
So what should we work on? I mean, I think the easy answer is special teams in all regard. Jimmy, I mean, honestly, when's the last time we returned a punt for a touchdown? I remember Caleb Downs doing it against our cupcake team that we played in 2023. And I know that evokes some grimaces when I bring up Caleb Downs in Alabama, but I can't remember the last time. I'm sure we've done it, and I just can't remember it, but Lord knows. I mean, why don't we have better special?
End up returning a punt for a touchdown?
He may have on like a very unique situation where it like landed short somewhere or something.
I think we used Branch as a returner in one of these FCS games because, we were just kind of emptying the bench and then he housed one.
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, I'm telling you, I think Branch did. Now, is he the last guy to do it? It's been a while. But, hey, I don't even have to return a punt for a touchdown. How about make a kick? One thing that's just interesting about the Eastern Illinois game, I would like to work on field goals. I don't think we're going to get much of an opportunity here because I'm sort of imagining a lot of Alabama players in the end zone and not a lot of 4th and 8s against Eastern Illinois. I just kind of imagine a lot of players in the end zone. I'm leaning towards picking this game 70-0, which would be very similar to the Louisiana Monroe score. And I don't know that you're going to get an opportunity to work on field goals other than 10 extra points. But even those extra points will be valuable. I want to see a good snap, a good hold, and Connor Talty make kicks. I would like to see that. I would like to see Alabama run the ball with some success. If you can't run the ball against them, you have some serious, serious problems. So I'd like to see that. But I'd also like to see the first-team offense perform first-team offense stuff because you're not just beating Eastern Illinois. You're building confidence for the game of the season, the game of their careers, the biggest game of Kaylin DeBoer's career at Alabama. You got to build some confidence there. I know the score could get out of hand and get a little ugly. I'd like to see the first-team offense play quite a bit in this game with the accelerator to the floor. Now, I'm not trying to humiliate anyone. As a matter of fact, I hate that look, to be honest. But this is what I hate even more, not being ready to play Auburn.
100%. I mean, look, I'm sorry. If you want sympathy now, we're paying you to come here and take this butt whooping. So y'all dig into that, okay? Yeah. I mean, I don't have time for the sympathy for all this. I mean, we've got to get better. And the way we're going to get better, and we got better after La Monroe. La Monroe helped make us better. Everybody can poo-poo the idea, and La Monroe sucks, and they lost South Alabama and blah, blah, blah. They did. But playing them helped us.
Yes. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I think this game's come along at a pretty good time because the offense needs a pick-me-up like the Louisiana Monroe game did earlier this year. And Eastern Illinois is not even as good as Louisiana Monroe. But it gives you an opportunity to work on stuff, build confidence, build some level of chemistry again, and Ty working with the receivers. How about some big plays to Ryan, some big plays to Germ? Congratulations to Germ, semifinalist on the Blitnikoff Award. That's awesome. That's what you need to do. It's working on stuff. You're not working on Auburn. I think a lot of fans out there are going to be like, they're working on Auburn. Well, the way I look at it is beating Eastern Illinois 70-0 is working on Auburn.
100%.
That's what I want to see. I want to see the first team offense hum like a machine in this game, feeling good about themselves.
Jimmy, I mean, hell hath no fury like the way the fans will treat DeBoer if we come out and go 3 and out in our first offensive possession against Eastern Illinois. I can tell you that. We need to score on that first one. We need to score.
We need to not run the ball for no gain.
Up the middle. If we run the ball with Jam Miller up the middle and get a yard and a half, I'm going to boo from wherever I am. I can't go to the game, but I'm going to be somewhere just booing my ass off. So,
getting ready for that Auburn game, I can tell already.
Oh, I've been invited to the Auburn game, and I think I'm going to go like a fool. I mean, it's foolish. It's foolish.
Have you been to Auburn when Alabama's won?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was there in 2009.
Okay.
I was there. Shoot, I was there in 97 when we essentially won and blew it. I was there in 99. I was there in 01. 01 was one of my favorite ones ever because we showed up and I was like, man, somebody gave us these tickets. And and that was a game. A lot of Auburn people left early, and you don't see that very often.
Andrew Zhao played out of his mind that day.
Yep. I was there. And let me think. I was there in 15 when we won. I was there in 2021 when we won with Bryce and the miracle comeback.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, this is the honest truth.
That you're not contributing to the voodoo by being there when all the voodoo happened. Sounds like
no, but I'll tell you this.
Been there for some good moments.
I was there in 21 and my daughter was pretty young and we're down, they punt and we get down to the 3 and I can't take it. This is me. I go out and into the concourse and my wife, and at the time, I guess my 5-year-old daughter, they follow me and I'm sitting there. I'm like, I can't watch it. It's on a screen. I'm trying to avoid the screen. And we start completing passes, getting down the field. And then I run back out into the tunnel and watch it. And then the overtime happens and I can't watch that. And then finally, I don't even see them have their incompletion on the 4th overtime. And then I run back out just in time to see John Mechie catch his. And my daughter starts doing the Cabbage Patch like at age 5. And I'm like, I didn't know you knew that. And I took a video of it. I'll post it on here sometime. It was awesome. She was like, she knew that. It's like this weekend. We were in Orange Beach. Alabama loses. She knows, okay, this weekend's probably ruined. Daddy's upset. And, this weekend's probably done for. She knows that now.
So this is how you are during the Auburn game. So basically what you're saying is the reaction show this year, post-Auburn, when I'm going to be like, Luke, you were there. What did you think about the game? Your answer is going to be, I have no idea. I didn't watch any of it.
I didn't see any of it. I have no idea.
You tell me.
I have no idea. That's another thing. That's one reason I may not want to go is just because the reaction show for the Iron Bowl will do numbers. And I would love to be here and I want to see, either we lose and people hate watch or we win and Bama fans everywhere watching, which I appreciate. But I don't know, Jimmy. I don't know if I can take it. I'm on 2 kind of heart medications already. It's not, I wish we wouldn't play them. I don't even like playing them. I don't enjoy it. I get no pleasure out of this game. Win, lose, or draw.
I believe Alabama's going to win the game. I do. I'm still looking. Started the process of trying to figure out, has an Auburn team that entered the game, were they going to enter the game 5 and 6? Assuming an
unranked Auburn team has never beaten a ranked Alabama team in this game. Apparently,
it's never happened
in Auburn, at least. I guess
Well, I'm going to keep looking at that. And now, who's to say it won't be the first time it happens? I mean, that would be so 2025, right? To see something that's never happened before. But not typically the better team wins this game. That's what I'm hanging my hat on. Typically, that's true. The best team wins this game. There aren't a lot of upsets. There's some nail-biting endings. There's some crazy endings. There's some gravedigger stuff. But generally, the better team wins this game. And there's no question, games 1 through 11, who the better football team has been in 2025. So that's what I'm going to hang my hat on, though I do fully intend to be quite nervous that day.
God, I'll tell you something again. I don't want to start the podcast over, but if Kaylin DeBoer bookends this season with a 14-point loss to a bad Florida State team and a loss of any description to keep us out of the playoffs against Auburn, I'm telling you, Penn State may not look so bad for it.
It's going to be a horrific offseason for Alabama football if that's the case. If you don't make the playoff after all the success Alabama enjoyed in 2025, it's going to be a horrific offseason. There's just no question about that.
All right, that's going to do it for today's pod. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Until then, roll tide, everybody.
Roll tide.